So Garrin and I are going to be chatting a bit more about the plethora of weekend sporting action, of course. Our Proteas and Springbok Sevens guys both dominating this weekend and doing it in fine style. Not so much for our Springbok ladies, but we'll delve a little deeper into all of that in just a moment.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword business to 31492 for a call back and quote, and you could be a winner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso from the cricket pitch to the rugby field. This weekend was filled with some incredible South African dominance. In fact, in all sporting codes, we, of course, have our sports editor, Garrin Lambley, now joining us to delve a little bit deeper. Mainly rugby, that's our vibe this weekend, obviously, with the start of the Rugby World Cup. But let's focus on another shining light and a bit of a turnaround for the Proteas up against India. Very strong outfit in the shortest format of the game, but winning by 9 wickets. Did we expect to see that level of dominance in Bangalore?
I was quite surprised, to be honest, but it made a nice change from the rugby. You know, nobody likes to see a best-of-2 series after the first match was rained out. So, you know, we were 1-0 down going into that final match. Quinton de Kock leading by example, the captain of the Proteas T20 side. He's had a great 2 matches, half centuries in both. You know, deserved man of the series and comprehensive victory by 9 wickets, which obviously now puts the Cricket World Cup a little bit like in the back burner. So we're onwards and upwards towards the Test series.
How much did we need this? As people who talk about cricket, how much did we need to just put the World Cup behind us?
Yeah, I think absolutely. You know, that wasn't a great performance at all. We've come on a couple of months now. We're in India for a very important Test match series coming up now. I think once that's over and done with, new captains, new management team, that's all very much change at the Proteas, and then obviously leading into that massive England series back in South Africa towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we need to start creating a culture of winning, but we also need the balance in the team to be there. Is the balance there represented? Beautiful bowling attack. He's so amazing at the death. He seems to be one player, just his mind is in the right place. Bjorn Hendricks, standout player of the match.
Absolutely. You know, he set up the Proteas batting lineup by taking 2 for 14, I think, in his bowling spell, restricting in India, giving South Africa a realistic chance to chase that total down. So, you know, he's come on in leaps and bounds. So, yeah, as you say, Kisa Rabada, a fantastic bowler. He's going to sort of carry the flame for South Africa going forward.
Spin bowlers, Bjorn Fortuin, what do we make of this young man? We've seen him in the local, the Mzansi Super League, doing amazing things with the bat as well. He's a very well-rounded player. Is he the incumbent? What role do you...
You know, I think great things are obviously expected of him. They've entrusted him with that role in India. He's a baptism of fire, obviously playing on the subcontinent against an Indian team who are well known for their batting against spin bowlers, so he was going to be exposed. That was going to be the place. But he came through, I think, with flying colours, and I think massive things are obviously expected of him going forward.
So fantastic 9-wicket win for the Proteas. Great first outing for Quinton de Kock, back in the captain's role there in the shortest format. Let's move on to another very successful weekend, Oktoberfest. It just sounds awesome. That is awesome when we're winning. I'm just wondering, we were joking about this off air a second ago, when you've got just about all the top dogs in one pool, and kudos to our 7 teams, the Blitzboks, for making it through a really, really tough draw. New Zealand, England and Australia to top our pool. That's the way you want to start a new season.
Absolutely. You couldn't have asked for much more than that. The Oktoberfest taking place in September, which is strange in itself.
Close enough, buddy. Close enough, yeah.
But, fantastic by Neil Powell's men. They're obviously building towards the World Series, and then thereafter the Olympics, where they took the bronze in Rio 3 years ago. So they'll be looking to go 2 steps better, take gold there. But, you can only beat who's in front of you, and they did just that. New Zealand, as you said, England, Australia, and then beating Fiji in the final, which was a fantastic, they've been our nemesis in the 7-man format.
They've been everyone's nemesis in the 7-man format. They just are, I think they are Sevens rugby. They have one of the proudest cultures in the game completely. Germany, what do you make? I cannot, in my memory, remember Germany featuring in any sevens.
You and me both. This is literally the first time I've seen them playing 7-man. Obviously, they're not at the Rugby World Cup, so they may be sevens specialists. But hats off to them making the semi-finals and running actually the Blitzboks fairly close.
That's how you use a home ground advantage. When we look at the captain there, Savua, obviously getting an opportunity, scoring in just about every match, but playmakers. I think they'd spoken about needing to tick certain boxes. We know it's all about having a system. Last year seemed to be a bit of a struggle with some of the new players learning that system, respecting that system. Clearly everything in place now.
Yeah, they seem to have a bit of trouble integrating those players back into the 7-man format. This time they've got Savella Sinatla back, Roscoe Speckman. They've both been playing Super Rugby, so they've been in the 15-man format. They're back now for the 7s. They're obviously star players for South Africa, and they can only benefit from having those sort of key players
that
back.
Voice back in the mixer as well. But so congratulations, winning a narrow final, the 12-10, as you said, against our arch nemesis. Moving on to the Springbok women up against Spain. Not the best results, but up against a very strong team. They're in the top 10?
Yeah, they're ranked 9th in the world. So, didn't actually expect that, to be honest. But, it's just another step on the path for the Springbok women's team. They've qualified for their World Cup, which takes place in 2021 in New Zealand. That's obviously going to be a tough place to tour. But, this is obviously a learning curve for the SA women's side. They're in South Africa. They play Scotland next. They're also ranked just behind South Africa, so maybe there's a chance to bounce back and beat them. But Stanley Robenheimer, he's on record as saying he's a little bit disappointed with the performance. In South Africa, you probably would have expected a little bit more from the SA women. But again, it's a learning curve. It's a baby step on a long-term path to this World Cup in 2021.
And we know it can be really tough landscape for a lot of our female players. Not a huge amount of contracts in the offing.
For sure.
They've really got to make it work for themselves. But they are having a fantastic build-up to, as they said, a World Cup, which we love. We want to see more representation. We'd love to see our gents give us a little bit more at the World Cup, of course. Garrin, always an absolute pleasure, man. I think we literally traversed the entire globe there. But you can let us know how you're feeling about the Springboks in particular, about their Rugby World Cup campaign. Hit us up on all of our social media platforms.